I've been dreading this one, but kind of looking forward to it as well.
It's kind of a complicated movie to discuss.
This is going to be one of the hardest reviews I think we've done on this channel.
The bitch is back.
It's amazing to me that Fox is the #1 studio in the country because they're all such a bunch of morons.
The problem with this movie is it follows Alien and Aliens. That's the #1 issue of this movie.
Yeah.
Now let's just say that this wasn't a sequel. You just walked into this movie and it's about this like woman from space. She crash lands on a planet, and then there's like this alien that came with her. If this is your first time seeing this, it's not that bad of a movie.
Yes.
It's a pretty strong movie actually. But when you're coming off of Aliens, which just is balls out action, good time, hundreds of aliens, and then you just strip it all back, and now this is the movie that you're watching. Very underwhelming.
Yeah, and I kind of get what they were going for with the stripping it back, trying to make it feel more like the original Alien. But at the same time, the original Alien had its own unique feel of like dread and terror, and this movie is a different type of sci-fi horror. It's more like a gothic drama.
Yeah, well, it's a gothic drama fucking downer.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
This movie's miserable.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. Start to finish, intentionally so. And I guess that's why it didn't resonate with audiences too well when it came out.
Again, it's because Aliens, and you go into this and you have certain expectations, and those expectations definitely were not met.
Yeah.
And a lot of the limitations, the self-imposed limitations, that's because Sigourney Weaver didn't want any weapons in this film.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many issues getting this film off the ground.
Oh yeah.
Like how many writers they went through, directors, directions they wanted to go with the film, things that like actually would have been interesting, but that's not what we got. Instead, we got David Fincher's first feature film. And, you know, David Fincher likes to say that nobody hates this film more than him.
Yes. 20th Century Fox pretty much fucked him when he was making this movie.
Correct.
The entire time.
That being said, though, he directed the hell out of this movie.
It's a great looking alien film.
Yes. And not just like the look of it, but the shot composition.
The shot movement.
The shot movement.
Everything about
everything in this, for your feature debut, he feels very seasoned in this, actually.
Absolutely. Like, the talent is there.
It's no surprise that like he went on right after this to do like Seven.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was sort of in director jail, and then I'm glad that Seven pulled him out of that.
Yes, yeah.
You know, because that would have just been tragic if he didn't get pulled out of there, because obviously he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best living filmmakers out there, you know.
He had to go through Fury to come out on the other side. There's no way to like jump into this without starting at the beginning with what they did. And I don't think I've ever had a conversation with anyone who actually defended where the story goes in the opening of this movie. Like, you might love this film,
but there's no defending that opening.
But that opening, and here's the thing with the opening. I actually really like the opening of this film.
Just in terms of execution.
The execution, like the montage.
Yes, the music, the opening titles.
Yes, the editing. The intercutting of the Sulaco with the credits, I think is fantastic. That whole sequence up until when they crash on the planet, it really like gets the tone going.
It does.
And you don't really know the fate of any of the characters yet. You just see like some shit's going on, like what's gonna happen. And then once they crash, the first 30 minutes of this movie is them just shitting all over the events of Aliens. Like to the point where it's like they're beating you over the head that they absolutely hate these characters and they want to destroy them in every way.
It's just like, oh, you like these characters? Well, fuck you. Yeah. That's what the whole movie is. Oh, you like that? Fuck you.
Yeah. And I actually like the first 30 minutes of this movie more than the rest of the film. Okay. Just because you still have a Ripley who still kind of feels like
until she shaves her head.
Until she saves her head, and she goes through this big character change. From that point on, she doesn't feel like Ripley anymore. I'm not saying Sigourney is bad in the role at all.
She's quite good.
I think she's great, but the way the character's written, it kind of just like takes me out of it. They make you think like, oh my God, like, because this series has been around at this point for what, 15 years or something? Like, she's been dealing with aliens for 15 years. No, she's like actually been dealing it for a very short amount of time.
Yeah, she even has that line in the movie where she's like, "You've been part of my life for so long that I can barely remember anything else."
Yeah, when in reality, this thing's been in her life for a few weeks if you don't count the
Sure.
however long, whatever. The beginning of this movie, you find out about Newt and Hicks and Bishop. It then kind of leads into the autopsy scene. And that is probably still my favorite scene in the movie, and it's also the scene I hate the most in the movie.
Yeah.
Just because the way it's executed is so good, but I hate the story so much, but I have to still give props for the execution.
Sure. No, again,
And
like you said, this movie is directed masterfully, and that scene, it's very good.
Yeah.
From a technical aspect.
Yeah, just the way it's shot. There's so many like low angle shots in this movie.
Really good low angle shots.
And it then leads into the funeral, which is intercut with
the chest burster.
The chest burster from the dog, not the ox.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into.
We're just, for the most part, we're referring to theatrical cut.
We will touch on assembly
or the 2003 special edition.
Yeah, but
we'll get to it.
Focusing on what was put out into the world.
Yes.
For good or for bad. I did always like how that was intercut, and that's a cool scene when it bursts out of the dog and you see that like it's a new type of alien.
Right.
Which we haven't seen at this point, and it's kind of cool because it kind of shows that yes, it can take on the characteristics.
I always appreciated about this movie.
I did too.
That was a cool idea, especially when you're coming off of a film that had hundreds of aliens in the previous movie.
Yes.
What are you going to do to make it different in this?
Yeah.
And that was a cool approach.
Yes.
And I love the design of the alien.
Yep.
Now there's some effect shots that we'll get into that.
But no, the actual
lacking,
design and
the
the close-up shots of it when it's real.
Yeah.
Look amazing.
Yes.
So you get that intercut with the funeral scene, and the funeral scene I really like. As much as I fucking hate it. You get the Elliot Goldenthal
Great
really
score. And that theme that he introduces.
He brings in that little theme in that moment.
Well, it actually comes in during the autopsy scene, but you really hear it flourish in that scene for the first time.
Yes, and then that comes back later in the film.
Yes.
Really good. And it just sucks that you're watching these characters just get dumped into a furnace with all this masterful, like, technical execution going on.
Sure.
And then that's the moment where she shaves her head, and now we're in this prison fully, and she's being integrated into this prison population, and it's run by Dylan. Another great performance.
Charles S. Dutton.
Charles S. Dutton. There's so many good performances in this movie.
They
and a lot of great
actors. Yeah, a lot of English actors.
A lot of English actors. And even though a lot of them, you know, they had their heads shaved, they still have a lot of personality.
Yes, definitely.
You get Dylan, you get Clemens, you get
85,
you get Andrews. Like, they're all great. This little prison community that got left behind, and they found God, and they're trying to live this religious life now, and then she comes in as a temptation for these prisoners, and you just see, like, her entrance just fucks their world up. But little does Ripley know, and everyone else, she's got a little friend growing inside of her.
This is one of my problems with this movie. The whole face hugger egg aspect never fully made sense.
Yes.
It's not fully explained, and I think it's kept vague on purpose. I always assumed that once the face huggers attempted to get onto Newt or Ripley, the bleed happened, and then the fire started. All this is pretty instantaneous, and then they get jettisoned right away. This all happens within like 20-minute time span, whatever.
Yeah.
So at what point does the facehugger get on her, lay the embryo?
Yeah, because it's usually on you for what, hours?
A day.
So when was it on her?
Exactly. And then if it was on her the entire way down to the planet,
and then it came off when they crashed?
Why didn't they find the facehugger?
It doesn't make any sense. Like, it would have to be on her for a while.
Just doesn't make sense.
And I guess this is just another aspect of the fact that a queen is growing in her instead of a regular alien.
Why the gestation period is
Why
later?
the gestation period is like a fucking week.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally a week.
You can that's the excuse that people will give. It's just a different alien growing in her. It's a queen.
Okay,
maybe
so,
it takes more time.
know,
but even if setting aside that, which is stupid and bullshit, but even if you set that aside, it conveniently comes out when it does at the end. Like it's all coincidental.
Okay, so this is one of the changes made in the assembly cut.
I know,
when she falls at the end, she just falls in. And the alien bursts out. It was always like, well, that's fucking convenient timing.
What a coincidence.
I know. The exact moment she decides to, like, take a dive into the furnace, and she grabs it. I mean, she should have just been like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
She befriends Mr. Clemens, who is my favorite character.
He's like the best well-rounded character in this film.
And Charles Dance has such a fucking great screen presence.
He does. He's so good in this
usually,
movie.
I mean, I'm used to him playing villains.
Yeah.
But he's perfect in this role.
Yes.
And as soon as his character delivers that story about his past, it's like,
Well,
okay.
Again, oh, you like that guy? Fuck you!
Fuck you!
And they just
exactly.
completely
right?
nuke him.
It's basically like the halfway point in the movie. He finishes telling his story to Ripley.
His backstory.
His backstory.
And it's interesting. It's good.
Yeah, it is. And he's an extremely well-rounded character. You give a shit about him. He develops this relationship with Ripley. I always did find it kind of forced that Ripley like just goes after him like, I've been out here
Dude, that's
a long time.
Kind of like what you were
It's
saying earlier about her not really feeling like Ripley. Ripley's always been like kind of a take charge character, but man, she really wants to fuck.
Yeah,
like,
right. I mean,
like,
which I get, but at the same time, obviously she's grieving. I guess doesn't feel like it at times, but once that haircut happens, she kind of like moves past it, and then she's not really like doing anything.
Right.
She's more focused on, I need to like feel alive again, so I'm just gonna like bang Clemens.
I always just assumed that one of the reasons why she is trying to bang Clemens is that's sort of like her ultimate way of deflecting, because she's trying to do her best not to give him that much information as to what she's been through.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to tell him about the alien, all these things. So I feel like she's like, if I can just fuck him, then he'll like lose.
He'll stop asking
He'll
questions.
just stop asking questions,
Yeah.
And
it's not until Clemens gets killed that she goes running into
the mess hall.
Screaming, it's here!
It's here!
Before we go on, I do want to say one more thing about Clemens. What fucking sucks, what makes it extra salty when he dies, is the fact that he never finds out about the alien. Like, she never tells him about it.
Yeah.
And so he dies like not knowing.
He has no fucking clue.
It's just fucked up. They do everything that they can to like fuck you over as the audience in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're trying to like, you want to have a good time watching this movie?
He just gets picked up by this thing, gets his head popped open, and then the alien drags him up into the vent. Bye-bye, Clemens. And you're just like, fuck you, movie.
Yeah. I'm all for the Game of Thrones approach where you just like kill people because it surprises you. But still, when you watch something, you read something, storytelling in general, you are getting invested in certain characters. It's not the fact that they die that bothers me when that happens.
No.
You can't fuck around with the audience like that. There's only so much tugging and pulling you can do before the audience is just like, all right, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah, Clemens dies around the halfway point of the movie, I think.
Yeah.
And then literally 2 minutes later, she runs into the mess hall and they kill my next favorite character, Andrews. And then once he's gone, I do like that elevates 85 to a bigger role in the movie.
Yes.
But at the same time, you just lost two of your best screen presence.
Yeah.
I like Dylan.
Yeah.
Right? He's the third strongest character in the movie of the new characters. You just took away two of them within a span of 3 minutes, and now Dylan's basically carrying the rest of the film in terms of the new characters, because everyone else, like, Morse he's fun, he's got the best line in the movie when fucking Andrews gets killed and he's like, fuck!
Yeah.
Fuck!
Like the only moment of levity in this movie.
Yeah.
That, and then when they cut to the guy with the mop afterwards, which is like literally the same sequence. That's the only bit of levity you get.
Yeah.
That's
and there's
it.
like maybe like a few little moments with like 85 when they're like kind of like.
Well, they're just giving him shit because he's retarded, basically.
Yeah, they're giving him shit.
What I do like about that scene, though, where Andrews gets killed, they're not dragging out people not believing her.
As soon as that happens?
As soon as it happens, okay.
Like,
everyone's
what do
on
we
board
do?
now.
What do we do?
Yeah. These movies are annoying because the character knows what's going on. They're trying to explain to other people. No one believes them, and that's fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
This movie starts to borderline wear out that welcome.
Yeah.
But then
until Andrews gets
that
killed,
scene happens,
and then everybody's
boom.
like, okay,
Yes.
we're on board here. Once those two characters are gone, it's a different movie after that. I really enjoy the first half of this movie, despite hating the first half of this movie for reasons, but it has those characters, and I like those characters. And once they're gone, now you're left with a bunch of faceless,
they were all
nameless
characters in the background.
Yeah.
Until now. So like you're not really investing in them because you're invested in Charles Dance and you're invested in Andrews. You're invested in those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at this point in the movie, like Morse has had some lines here and there, but you don't realize at this point he's the only dude that survives this movie.
Yes. These are going to be your leads now.
Yes. He's gonna
your lead supporting characters.
He's gonna take a big step to the foreground, and so does 85, because 85 is kind of just like a yes man at this point, and then he gets his little arc too, and I like that. I like that even some of these background characters get elevated and get their moments, but a lot of them, they're just fodder.
Yes.
And this is like the one thing I will say about the assembly cut that I do like is that some of those characters get a little more screen time and get fleshed out a little bit, and you get to see their fate basically. But for the most part, they're just background. You know, they're just a bunch of bald British guys running around getting diced up.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but again, when you kill the characters that we're already invested in,
Yeah.
now we're supposed to just shift over to these faceless people basically, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, you know, you actually want to give a fuck about some of these people. You know, and the people that you get the most screen time with, the most colorful, fleshed out characters, die way too early. You know, and then for the rest of the movie, they're just trying to either trap this thing or kill it or whatever, and they just keep failing and failing because they have no weapons.
That's the one thing that I appreciated about the movie as well, even back in the day. It's like the Alien movie that feels like, all right, these people are in this situation, they've got a plan.
Yeah.
And the whole movie's them executing the plan. Now, to me, it's a little annoying because the first plan they have is trying to get it into the waste disposal system or whatever. That fucks up.
Yeah.
And then they just shift gears to the whole
Leadworks
hot
thing,
Leadworks
yeah.
piston thing. And
Yeah.
it's like those two things just felt too similar. I feel like they should have just picked one and then that was just
Right,
it.
yeah, because the first plan is, yeah, they were gonna like flush it out, but they're like painting all those vents with that goop. But it just feels like they're all separate, going through these like tunnels and everything. And then I never really understood that plan watching the theatrical cut.
That's another thing the assembly cut does
Yeah,
better, is explaining that situation.
It kind of fleshes that scene out a little better. Now, obviously, it takes it to the point where they actually succeed and trap it, and then they give Gallic a whole little story arc that ends up being like really fucking stupid in terms of
and pointless
in terms of just bonehead moves by a few characters. And I'm glad it's not in the theatrical. Even though, you know, I'll probably get shit for saying that.
No, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
All right? That whole aspect sucks.
Yeah, but then when you get to that final scene where it's just a bunch of guys running through corridors again, trying to lure it into the pistons, that scene always felt so disjointed to me.
Right.
Like, you've got all these guys running around in these unconnected rooms, so you have no idea where they are spatially. Like you said, it seems like, okay, we have a plan, we're gonna execute it now. And they start the plan, they're like, okay, running through corridor A, and then like they hit the door and they trap it. It's like, okay, corridor A blocked off. Okay, who's in corridor B, whatever. And it seems like it's working, but then all of a sudden, it's just not working. And it's like, well, what the fuck happened?
What happened?
You don't really get a sense of, and then it just keeps going and going. Guys start getting picked off, and you see Dylan getting frustrated. Like, how hard is it to run down a fucking hallway?
Yeah.
And I start to feel like that too. Like, yeah, like what is this plan? Like, what does this like hallway system look like? How are you trying to flush it into the pistons? And after watching this movie so many times, like, yeah, I get it now.
Sure.
But like, I can imagine on a first viewing, you're gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck is this plan?
They give you like just enough information for you to kind of just go with it. Whereas the assembly cut really fleshes out exactly what the plan is.
It gives you a few little more details.
And it just makes you feel like the geography a little bit better. You
Yeah.
kind of get a better understanding of what they're doing. And it definitely does need that. But I always did like that aspect of it though. Like these guys have to band together and execute a plan.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Very cool stuff.
Yeah, and for the most part, it kind of works.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
okay.
to the point where like literally they all die, and then it's just down to a couple people.
And speaking of dying, like the deaths in this movie are pretty fucking brutal.
Oh, they are.
They just throw bodies around like nothing in this movie.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, like even at the end when 85 gets shot, he can't just get shot and like lay down.
No,
like,
he gets
He gets
blasted.
fucking blasted, flies off the catwalk.
Yeah.
And like lands this like horrific landing, and he's
Yeah.
just like on the ground, like,
Like,
realistically. You
Yeah,
know?
he makes his little sacrifice.
And then that one
you know?
dude, I can't remember his name, but the guy's running through the corridor, and like he's about to make it through the door.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
the fucking alien just stops him right in his
you
tracks.
see like
He just
blood like
explodes,
explode
and his
out.
foot
Yeah.
like flies out.
Or like when the two guys get killed and Gallic just gets blasted.
showered
in the
with blood.
Yeah, there's no shortage of the gore in this movie.
At this point in the Alien series, this is the most carnage that you've got.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Most of the time, you just see like the alien will pick you up, and you see the bite and maybe a quick thing of blood. But this
Sure.
like gallons of blood just
Right.
spraying everywhere.
Which I do appreciate. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it is cool. I like that aspect of it.
Like I said, very cool stuff.
So they execute the plan and they get it into the piston, and then Dylan sacrifices himself. Ripley gets out and then Morris pulls the lever. The lead pours on the alien. The alien comes out for one last surprise.
Yeah.
And then Ripley jumps and she pulls down the shower, wets the hot lead on the alien.
Yeah, shocks it into explosion.
Right, yes. And you get
Yeah.
that one early CGI shot of the alien's head where it like
And that actually looked good.
looks cool.
Looks
yeah.
great. It's all the other shitty shots where you see the thing like on the ceiling or running when they were using like the puppet on the blue screen. Like and
the
that
concept
looks like ass.
The concept, it looks terrible. But the concept was cool though, which was instead of doing stop motion effects, because they didn't have CGI back then. So this was all like, well, how are we going to show it run? How are we going to show it do its things with, you know, inhumane speed or whatever.
A dog in a costume.
They tried doing that for the chest burster. But anyways, so what they did was they did puppetry, but they did the puppetry against a blue screen, and they tried to comp that into the movie. Back then, comping wasn't as good as it is now.
Yeah.
They just didn't get the lighting right, and then you see like
it's got that
the matte
that
line around
outline
it.
It just looks like shit.
It looks terrible.
I mean, the worst offense is that scene in the infirmary, right after it kills Clemens, and it like crawls up to her, and it looks so shitty.
And then the next shot comes in,
is the head coming in, and it's fucking iconic. It's like those two shots do not mix.
No, they don't. It looks like shit. I'm not defending it. I just think that the idea was cool. It just wasn't executed properly.
Right. And then old Weyland-Yutani shows up.
Lance Henriksen comes back for some reason. He has that line where he's like, oh, the company sent me because they wanted to give you a familiar face. And it's like, how would the company know that Ripley and Bishop developed a kinship? Like how
at the end of the movie,
they
end of Aliens?
Like at the end of Aliens. How would they know that? That always annoyed me. And it's like, that was like the earliest bit of fan service, I think, was dropping him in there. I was like, I mean, as a kid, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
She's barely known the guy.
She knew Bishop for like maybe 24 hours being, like being awake or whatever. Like she didn't even know him that long. Yeah, it's cool seeing Lance Henriksen because it's always like, good seeing him. But
I mean, you get the scene where she brings Bishop back,
which is awesome.
That is an awesome
That's
scene.
a cool scene.
The whole thing is animatronic, right?
Yeah.
And you get that little brief conversation. I always felt that we never got to see that whole conversation. Like,
it does feel chopped up.
It feels chopped up because some of the dialogue doesn't accurately match like what the other person is saying. He goes on to say that like, oh yeah, the company knows everything and the alien was with us the whole way on the ship and in the EEV. And like he's got all this information. It's like, okay, so the computer was like aware shit was going down. So it just always makes me think like, yeah, the company just knew that shit was going on the Sulaco. And
maybe. I do like that scene, and it just goes to show like how that sort of scene is done right. And then you watch Romulus where they've got that fucking terrible representation of
Rook.
Ian Holm.
Yeah, it looks like dog shit. Uncanny Valley, like to the max.
Yes. Yeah, that's some Polar Express shit right there.
Fucking terrible. Bishop Prime, I guess we'll call him. He tries to convince her that they're gonna kill the alien, but
they're gonna take it out of her.
Yeah.
Save her.
We're gonna take that out of her.
We're gonna bring it out of you.
I do like the scene, man. Like
he's good. It's a good scene.
Yeah.
I think part of it also is up to this point, we've never actually seen like representatives from the company really, except for Burke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the boardroom in Aliens, but like, I mean people at the top that know what's going on, the science division.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing it.
You're seeing some of it, yeah.
And then like the fucking, sequel bullshit that comes out nowadays where everything's just fan service, it felt like this is actually an accurate representation of what these people would be like.
Right.
Yeah.
And she makes the sacrifice, and I don't mind Ripley dying. I think it's a nice end to the trilogy. I mean, it's a brutal conclusion to the trilogy. There's ways that it could have been done that were a little more palatable, I guess, in terms of the overall tone of the entire trilogy.
Well,
but
her death fits the tone of the movie.
It fits the tone of the film, and that's fine. But I never really had a problem with her dying. It's just, and I do like that music comes back in the end.
It's very
she
good.
Makes that sacrifice, but it's such a fucked up conclusion.
It's a downer.
It's such a downer.
Yeah.
Even though technically they win in the end.
Doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it.
That's the problem. When you're done watching the movie, you just think to yourself, what was the point of that?
Right.
It's not a waste of time because you're watching, again, like a very artistically made movie.
It is a well-made film.
But still, just from like a character standpoint and like kind of the journey you go on when you watch a story, when you watch a movie, it's not fulfilling.
No.
And so you just think to yourself, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I was never satisfied watching it, even though I never had a problem with her dying. It's just the manner in which it occurs and everything else occurs.
As a kid, I always had a problem with her dying. You get older, you mature, that aspect doesn't bother me anymore.
Right.
It's just the rest of the movie.
No, I had a problem with the other characters dying.
Yeah.
Unceremoniously off fucking screen between movies. That's what I had a problem with, and I still have a problem with to this day.
It sucks.
It's so hard to judge this film without factoring that in, and that being a massive pull down on it.
I can't get over this. Ever since '92, just killing off Hicks and Newt.
Yeah.
Part of me feels like this movie still could have worked had they been in it. It's always just really pissed me off.
It would have really changed Ripley's character.
Well, no, changed the character, but I just mean the chain of events.
Oh, the chain of events would have still occurred the same, and then, you know, maybe those characters or some of them do still die in the end or whatever, but at least they go out fighting. It's just the way they did it, you know? It's such a slap in the face. But I do get it. It's got that nihilistic tone, like that is the film.
And that tone is so successful.
No, that's the problem. It works on that level. As part 3, after parts 1 and 2, it is such a downgrade.
Yeah.
But I still like the movie.
I do too.
That's why I always say there's 2.5 Alien movies.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because you got to take the good with the bad with this one.
We got to rank it now, man.
Yeah, I've been dreading this ranking, this whole review, while we've been discussing this.
For me, the Newt and Hicks thing, I was there for that, man. I saw this shit in theaters.
Yeah.
And I remember how that felt. And I've never recovered from that. That's always pissed me off. And as much as I really think the technical merits of this movie are top-notch, A+, 100%, where they took the story just sucks. And so for me, based on that, I gotta get this movie a 6 out of 10.
Fuck, I was gonna go 6 out of 10. If this movie, like you said, just existed alone without being the follow-up to Aliens, yes, I'd be ranking it higher.
Yeah.
It's just... fuck this movie.
Exactly. Fuck what they did. Look, I will say this though. I do like that time has gone by and there are people that appreciate the film more.
Yeah, I do too. The rediscovered love for it, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, even though some of it I also think are just saying it to be edgy.
You're fucking edgy and cool, yeah!
There's no fucking way this movie's better than the first or the second one. Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's not.
And like there are people that say it's the best one.
No,
it's not. Get out of here.
No.
I don't like accusing people of their motivations, but that to me is like you're just trying to be like
trying to be edgy?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you're the kind of person that loves Zack Snyder.
Why did you say that name?
I guess after this now we head into fan fiction territory.
Stupidity begins.
Stupidity begins.
After this movie.
Boy, am I looking forward to jumping into that one.
Oh, and I actually might have some hot takes when it comes to that.
I know.
film, so.
I know. I think you would really appreciate the kinetic vibes of that movie. So we're going to get into that because I don't think I have a kind word to say about that movie.
There's some kindness there that I'm going to
Well,
be.
this is going to be fun then. I'm looking forward to Alien 4. We'll get on that soon.